how's it going everyone? It's Anne Skyline and welcome to my channel. So another week has drifted by, which means missions, challenges and lots more to look forward to. And it's Valentine's Day on Wednesday, so sending out lots of hugs and kisses to all the men out there. So kicking off this week with Morozov and a continuation of the wish quest for the wish token to look forward to and spend. So we're on week 3 of the quest, but more about Mara later in the video. Also, moments of triumphs are still going strong and plenty of rewards to look forward to. Up next is the Crucible nodes for this week, our Scorch and Showdown, and not forgetting we have bonus ranks in trials. Start Friday evening if you're wanting to get another particular weapon or armour. Up next we have this week's exotic rotator mission, Vox Obscura, home of the Dead Messenger grenade launcher. Plus, this weapon is fully craftable with choice of a few perks. Up next is this week's rotating legendary dungeon is the Prophecy. And moving on, this week's Grandmaster is the Heist Battlegrounds on the Moon, and this week's weapon is the Braytech Osprey Void Rocket Launcher. That has some great perks. Also for the Dares of Eternity, if we've got any new players, if you're completing challenges or just running for weapons or for fun, this week's last boss is Zydron. Also this week's Ascendant Challenge on the Dreaming City, if you're interested in doing that. It's Shattered Ruins and it's located in Spine of Kirs. Petra has a weekly bounty for this as well, plus you can buy from her the Tincture of Queensvale so that you can access the special Taken portal. If you're new to Destiny and don't have any materials to purchase, then you can farm chests and public events in the area, and hopefully the RNG fairy is on your side. Okay, up next we have this week's raid on rotation, and it's Vow of the Disciple. The last boss drops the exotic pulse rifle, and that is called the Collective Obligation. Plus, the raid also drops the patterns for some amazing legendary weapons, but more about the raid later on in the video. So, saving the best to last, the big man himself, it's Master Crota, and the challenge is one of the easier ones this week. Also, this week's challenge is called the Precarious Balance, and this is at the bridge checkpoint. So, let's move on to the full breakdown for this week. I hope you're enjoying the content. Please leave a comment so I know how I can improve my channel, and hit the subscribe. This helps me to grow my channel, plus helps me to improve as well as create more content. So let's put the pedal to the metal and drift straight in. So kicking off with Morozov Wish Quest is in full swing, and we're on week 3 out of the 6 weeks. So last week we had to get an Ascendant chests in the Dreaming City, and this week we have to defeat 1,600 combatants in Legend or Master Lost sectors to earn a wish token to spend either on Category 1, which is the last wish red border weapons, or you can choose an item from Category 2, which is one exotic from the Lightfall, or you can choose Category 3, which is materials for either upgrading your armor or your weapons, or you can choose a memento. So lots to choose from. Moving on, we have this week's Rotator exotic mission, the Vox Obscura, home of the craftable Dead Messenger grenade launcher. The mission is time critical, plus the mission is fun to do with easy mechanics and champions up to the last boss. The boss is easy to complete, normally 2 phases because of the mechanics. The boss drops exotic as well as a chance to get a red border weapon. Plus the mission is farmable to try and get the weapon patterns unlocked, and a table showing the weapons are available. So the weapons are as follows: is we have the explosive personality wave frame grenade launcher, special ammo. We also have the under the skin precision bow primary. We also have the peace of mind rapid fire pulse rifle primary. We also have bottom left the recurrent impact rapid fire heavy machine gun. We have the thoughtless stasis sniper rifle, and last but least, we have the sweet Sorrow rapid fire assault rifle, which is also primary. So don't forget, all these weapons are farmable this week for the pattern. So up next is this week's legendary dungeon. This is one of the older dungeons, and sadly no exotic or craftable weapons, but the dungeon is fun. Lots of different mechanics to work your way through to get to the last boss, including a very long Sparrow Road taking you to the last boss checkpoint. So up next is this week's Grandmaster Nightfall, and it's the highest battlegrounds on the moon, and it's certainly not one of the easier ones, but with Warlock's healing and a survival build and one of the strats that are available to complete this the easiest way possible. The Nightfall has Barrier and Unstoppable champions, Void incoming threat, Solar Arc and Void shields, but to be honest it's mainly Arc. Surges is Solar Strand or Sniper, and just a little tip, when doing the Grandmaster I like to run a Warlock with Wells, with the Meta Polaris Lance, works so well in there, especially for ranged areas. Also a Hunter for invisibility for later stages is a great help as well. The weapon for this week is the Void rocket launcher, the Braytech Osprey, that has some very nice perks. So moving on to this week's raid on rotation, and that is Vow of the Disciple, and this raid is one of my favourites and it's absolute amazing. The last boss drops the Void exotic pulse rifle, the collective obligation. Also the whole raid mechanics are knowing symbols. So if you're not used to symbol callouts, there is plenty of Google images that you can follow. I suggest having one static so that you can follow it very easy. Also, the raid drops some amazing legendary weapons that are all farmable this week. Plus, all the weapons are craftable and have some great enhanced perk. Here is a table of all the weapons obtainable in the raid. Plus, don't forget, this week's the raid is farmable for the red borders, and the armor looks very dapper for the ornament. So, saving the best for last. This raid was originally in Destiny 1, but has been remastered for us for Destiny 2, and it's Master Crota. Each week he has a challenge that needs to be completed if you're wanting a random drop of an adept weapon. This week's challenge is one of the easier ones. This is located at the bridge. The challenge is called Precarious Balance. This is super easy, and Guardians cannot step on the bridge while it's fully built. The easiest strat is to have a strand or a well and a tractor cannon. So they will go across with the sword and the chalice. But before they do, get everybody enlightened. The chalice and the sword can stand on the middle plate, and they can also go across together. Once on the other side, the middle plate can now be stood on. Tractor cannon can debuff the sword keeper, and strand or well for survivability. The sword keepers are super tanky and he adds do pack a punch. So basically repeat, and the next person gets the sword and he will go across with the sword and then everybody can then get off the plates at spawn side and hide at the top for safety at the very top where we spawned in. When the next person is ready with a sword, he will then communicate with the opposite side plate. He will then tell them to get off the plate so that he can start to run across the bridge, and no one on the centre plate failed the challenge. This may take a few tries, but it's worth it when you get the adept weapon. So, sadly we've come to the end of Destiny this week. I hope you've really enjoyed the content. Please leave a comment, and if you don't mind subscribing and turning on the notifications. This doesn't cost you anything. All the subscribe and notifications does will let you know when I've made another video. So thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Laters.